expect here on Sunday. All right, so Niners get the win, but Shedeur in Cleveland, always a story. A look here at his first 2 career starts, a win and a loss. The offense just stalling at midfield throughout this one, 16 of 25, 149, and a touchdown. Back with the fellas, and we will start with Sanders. I'm not sure it's the type of performance that will launch 10,000 takes the way that his performances often do, one way or the other. Pat, I'm coming to you here on Shedeur. The numbers tell one story, but tell me the real story of how Shedeur played today.
Too many sacks. I believe when he's able to drop back, he has to find a way to step up more in the pocket. I believe he retrieved a little bit too much, because if you look at those sacks, it took him out of field goal range in one of them. In 3 sacks, I believe he lost 34 yards or something like that. So that's a huge number. He has to get better with his pocket presence as far as stepping up versus retrieving. But overall, I mean, he didn't have an opportunity to really throw it to any receivers. That was a nice pass to his tight end to give them their only touchdown of the day. But for the most part, he kept the ball out of the other team's hands. And the game plan wasn't really for him to go out there and do anything special. So for the most part, he didn't turn the ball over, but the sacks have to get better. He has to do a better job of stepping up in the pocket, in my opinion.
When you look at a game like today, when the offense was a bit stagnant, they had issues protecting the young quarterback. I would love to see Kevin Stefanski utilize tempo. Go fast, change up the tempo a little bit, because if you look at Shedeur Sanders' collegiate career, he was at his best sometimes utilizing tempo. And the thing about tempo, when you have concerns with the offensive line, it kind of gives them the upper hand when you're going fast, because now the defensive front, they can't just peel their ears back and just go, go, go. Now they got to really second guess themselves because of the timing. But to Pat's point, he protected the football. This was a tall task, not just for Shedeur, but collectively for Cleveland, because this is a better team than what they saw last week. That was a great matchup for a young quarterback to make his first start last week against the Raiders. But this is a playoff caliber team, a team that has championship-like aspirations, championship pedigree on the coaching staff, and they're a talented team. So we knew this would be a bit difficult. We wanted to see progress. We saw a little bit, but you want to continue to see him develop. But I can say this. In terms of the future preferences with the Cleveland Browns, I love what I'm seeing from out of Quinshon Judkins. You look at Harold Fannin, he's going to be a big-time playmaker for them, along with what Shedeur Sanders has been able to do. So we know they're a year or so away, but they have some nice young pieces I think they can build around.
To eschew any doubt, as we often have to here with Shedeur Sanders, he will start next week at home against the Tennessee Titans, another opponent that presents some opportunity. JJ, that official from Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, so we're not waiting until Monday to hear anything. He just goes ahead and says it's going to be Shedeur. That's great. Dillon Gabriel is healthy enough to go out there and start. We've already seen him in 6+ games. Dillon Gabriel is not starting. They are going with Shedeur now for a 3rd consecutive game. Let's also remember they do have a Deshaun Watson who is getting healthier, who they are not tipping their hand about if he is going to play this season or not. But that is something that needs to be and remain in the equation here in the final stanza of the season. Meanwhile, for Shedeur Sanders, he's someone who played just okay today. This was an overmatched Cleveland Browns team. We all just have to be honest about it. In every phase, we heard Brock Purdy say that they won in every phase they did because they outmatched the Cleveland Browns in every phase. Only 1 sack for Myles Garrett today, right? They could only really get to Brock Purdy that one time. You had the wind. That was also a legitimate factor in this ball game. So if you look at his sort of pedestrian passing numbers, I'm talking about Shedeur Sanders, have to factor in that the wind was a factor. They took him out again on that 2-point conversion. One wonders if that was because of the wind for the extra point and not necessarily because they just want to take Shedeur Sanders out and do the Wildcat. All those things said, you talk about the sacks, the 4th downs, and Harold Fannin Jr. getting under center, and he's a fantastic rookie tight end. Let him be a fantastic rookie tight end. He doesn't have to get under center. I'm not saying that Shedeur was going to convert that 4th and whatever, but Harold Fannin Jr. probably doesn't need to be taking under center snaps.
And you know what bothers me about that play so much, and Pat probably can contest to this as well. When you do that look in the week of prep, it's not live. So a tight end that's not accustomed to taking the center the snap exchange from under center, you're not getting a realistic look because no one is going full speed. So clearly the timing is not going to be the same like it is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, how it will be on Sunday. And that's why you said it, we saw multiple tight ends get under center, and Tyler Warren in the Colts game. So I don't understand the coaching, the mindset, because, it's not full speed in the week of.
Mac, if I may, a thought here. on the team with 9 wins, who's squarely in a divisional race and will be a participant in the playoffs. Not mathematically official just yet, but the San Francisco team somehow continues to maintain their standard no matter who's standing across from them. If we could look at the schedule here, there's a chance to win a division, host some games, make some noise, Mac. This is a San Francisco team, despite the injuries, that continues to play an elite level of football.
Yo, I'll say this. Outside of the year, the 2 years when they made it to the Super Bowl, this is Kyle Shanahan's best coaching performance.
Yep.
Because of the injuries, the adverse situations he's been dealt with, and still not making any excuses.
Name them.
Winning.
Like Bosa?
Ayuk, Fred Warner.
The best defensive player.
I mean, the rookie from Georgia, the D lineman.
Pearsall's been out more than he's been
out.
in.
Jawan Jennings.
That left a season ago.
Trent Williams is a shell of himself.
I mean, like all the injuries they've been hit with, and they still find ways to win. And today was a trap game scenario. I talk about it anytime. You play Cleveland at 1 o'clock and it looks like it's 7 p.m. outside. It's a jury situation. It's a trap-like moment. We've seen the Green Bay Packers go into that same atmosphere and take one on the chin. When you look at San Francisco, their ability to win the necessary ball games in a weekend on a Sunday where the Rams took one on the chin. That division, to your point, Joe, is wide open.
Yeah.
But I do believe 3 teams get into the playoffs from the West. I think 3 can get in. I think 3. Because we saw 3 get in from the NFC North last year, right?
That'd be a blow to the NFC North if 3 get in from the West.
You have 6 teams that appear to be playoff caliber between those 2 divisions. You will have 2 division champions, and then you got 3 open spots for the 4 other teams. Detroit currently the odd team out, but games yet to be played. San Francisco taking another step towards playoff football. A look here at 800 plus on the ground and through the air. We cannot overstate what CMC has meant to that maintenance of standard. Christian McCaffrey joining an elite list as he looks to become the first ever player with more than 1 season of 1,000 plus. We're pleased to say hello to the future Hall of Famer J.J. Watt, who joins us from the site. J.J., these two sort of looked each other eye to eye for about 60 minutes of football. In your eyes, what was the deciding factor?
Yeah, I mean, Colts fans are certainly going to have some things to say about the refereeing down there in the red zone, especially. There were some calls that were very tough for him, no question. But I would say the Houston defense being the first team all season to be able to hold the Colts under 20 points, and Jonathan Taylor out of the end zone, no touchdowns for him, under 100 yards rushing. That is clearly kind of becoming the key to stopping the Colts, is you have to stop Jonathan Taylor and make everybody else beat you.
All right, I want to go one deeper here on this Houston defense because I'm talking to the man who carried the standard for such a long time there. But what some see in the eyes of the Mona Lisa, a setting sun over the Mediterranean, the doctorate level understanding of pass rush that you have, I'm sure you see in this pass rush group. What do you see when they put their hands on the ground and get going?
I mean, the number one thing you see about this defense is just pure intensity and violence. The way that they attack people. They have such strong bull rushes, speed to power, which then opens up all their speed rushes, their spins, everything else that comes along with it. And they do it together as a group. They never really let the quarterback slip out, or they never both get behind him or both get in front of him. They don't give escape lanes. They keep them bottled up, and it's very difficult for quarterbacks to play against that.
Especially if you're dealing with a fracture in your leg, as Daniel Jones is and will be moving forward this season. Indianapolis, not to say they peaked too soon, but they've looked more human this last couple weeks. You stare down one of the top defensive units in the league on this day, but when you project them forward, Indy, what are the pressure points right now, the things they have to clean up prior to playoff football?
Yeah, I mean, they're a team that just always has to stay on schedule. And when they're not able to win first down, they've been doing it at a historic rate this year, but when they're not, that's when they get in trouble. Their offense thrives on the ability to be diverse. The run game, the play action, the screens, the RPOs. When they're not able to do that, when they have to drop back and throw, that's when they get themselves in a little bit of trouble. So that's what they need to do. Jonathan Taylor has to be the workhorse of this team. Not anything we didn't already know, but it's become even more clear these last few weeks.
He is J.J. Watt, our workhorse as well. Appreciate your time as always, J.J.
Thanks. Have a great one.